Okay, we are ready to go for our next session here at the Thinking Football Summit 2024, and we're going to have the pleasure of inviting here on stage one of the main partners of this event. The Sport Integrity Global Alliance will be conducting their Football Integrity Forum here one more time, and to lead this overall discussion and to set the positioning of the importance of fighting for integrity in the world of football, in a landscape which is increasingly dangerous for the ecosystem and for the pyramid of the game that we all know and love. I would like to invite on stage the CEO of the Sport Integrity Global Alliance, SIGA, Mr. Emanuel Macedo. Welcome, Emanuel. Over to you.
What a crowd we have here, huh?
Okay. So there is.
Someone was recently asked me, what was the most important thing about, they were referring about the organization that I have created and lead, the Sport Integrity Global Alliance. And they asked me, what is the
Sorry
most
guys,
important thing?
we've run out of time.
Hello? What is the most important thing for you? Is it the journey or is it the destination? And I said, it's the company. It's the company, means it's you. So being here with you, for me, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. Because whether we are 50,000 or 50, whether we are 20,000 or 20, it is the commitment, the passion that drives change. And if you are here in this room, I already know which side you have picked. Where do you stand? And I know another thing, is that you are not neutral. You know which version of sport you want to pursue, you want to believe in, you want to be part of. And that is very meaningful. And why is this important? Why do we need to pick sides? Why do we need to choose the values that we want to see? And why do we need to be agents of change? Because in this room, that is what I sense. You are all agents of change. Let's look around us. What do we have? Because sport does not exist in a vacuum. Sport is part of something bigger, greater, more meaningful. Sport is part of global society, global economy. And it drives a number of positive effects and externalities, be they from self-esteem to social responsibility, to sustainability, or the creation of wealth. At the basis of all these incredible faculties and power and ability to transform and to deliver is integrity. Because without integrity, sport is nothing. Without integrity, society is nothing. Without integrity, economy is nothing. But if you look around, we need to understand that sport, as I was saying, does not exist in a vacuum. We live in a troubled world. So I'm here to briefly share with you 3 orders of challenge that we are confronted with and which we need to pick sides. And at the end, whether we concur or we disagree, we need to do something about it. The first are the political challenges. We cannot ignore them. 2024 is the year where the largest number of nations goes through elections. And by elections, I don't mean the elections of the Portuguese FA, which seems to be capturing the momentum and the interest and the spark of everyone. I'm talking about political elections. The choosing of the leaders that we want to see leading the way in our countries. We also see turbulence and worrying trends. We see the G20 trying to find its course. We see the BRICS in a huge transformation process, mutating, the global blocs getting stronger and more dynamic and more competitive. We also see the decrease of certain nations, which had traditionally the role of ensuring global peace, stability, and even the value of goods. United States, for example, going through an election which will impact everything and everybody. We see the rise of regional conflicts with an impact beyond those territories, with an impact on our daily lives, on how we behave, on what we consume, and they shape the patterns, they shape our mobility, they shape our self-determination. Ukraine versus Russia and everyone involved. We also see tensions in Southeast Asia with China and Taiwan. So this is the reality in 2024. We also see an admirable new world emerging. But with opportunities comes dangers, which need our attention. The rise of AI influence. It's not just an admirable new world, as Aldous Huxley would say. It is also some symptoms that require our attention. The rise of fake AI influencers that manipulate our opinion, that manipulate our choices, that have a great impact, which is aggravated by same symptoms that we see in sport. Lack of regulation, lack of leadership, lack of oversight, and lack of a vision with future and for the future. We also have humanoid advanced robotics. And boy, how do they learn fast and how do they evolve? And you see them everywhere. You see them everywhere, including in sport. They will be an important influence. We see also how this is affecting the future of work. Many of you work on the sports industry, but what's going to be the jobs of tomorrow when we humans are replaced by machinery and by technology? Important questions. And forums like this also serve to think about what's going to be the future of our existence. Esports, blockchain, virtual currencies, the traditional crisis of the media. Look around you. The media is no longer what it used to be. And suddenly, it's not yet what it will be. It will have to adjust the same way that those who were in the radio had to adjust to television and so on and so forth. New ways of entertainment and new consumption patterns are being dictated by the reality around us. The way we entertain ourselves in sport, the way we play, the way we consume, the way we interact is being shaped by all this evolving landscape. Esports and its impact. What's going to be the impact on the existing competitions? Because as you know, there is always this drive, this thirst, this necessity, imperative necessity to be one step ahead of the curve so that we can keep the audience engaged and the consumers spending their money. Will it be new competition formats? Will it have an impact on the length of the games? Everything is possible, and nothing is out of the question. But what about sport? A few bullet points as a teaser and setting the scenes for the next panel. Governance. Have you noticed that what was almost a consolidated understanding, consensual, term limits, as a way to ensure the renewal of democratic structures, the renewal of those who were at the helm of organizations? Have you seen how everyone seems to backtracking? From UEFA to the IOCs, from UEFA, things are changing. Term limits. Gender equity, where are we? Yesterday, we had here a major thought leadership event, and we mobilized female leadership, not just in Europe, not just in Portugal, but from all over the world. And we presented the new figures that give you the right sense of what the reality is and how deep goes the rabbit hole. 28.08% are the percentage of women who have a seat where decisions are made. Yes, the Olympics and the Paralympics can be applauded for having gender parity on the athletes that are competing. But tell me, who sits on those chairs with gold nails that symbolize the power where decisions are made? I say no to tokenism. You need to say no to tokenism, but you need to do something about it. Poor regulation, poor governance, lack of oversight, lack of scrutiny are deep-rooted. And if I bring these symptoms, believe me, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. And I challenge anyone who is capable of showing that I am wrong. Look at multi-club ownership. Look at how the regulatory framework, instead of being more robust, more consistent, more effective, has become more diluted. I sense trouble ahead of the curve. Look at the erosion of competitive balance. Look how certain nations have consolidated their role at the helm, where the role of smaller nations like Portugal, like Netherlands, like Belgium. What's going to be the future? Where are the passion for the fans? And I could say so much more about this. The increase of financial and consequently sporting gap is a reality between clubs as well as between nations. The monopoly, the attempt to either break through or conserve the power. We can think about the European Super League and what will be the next chapters and how this will impact on sport. Sports betting integrity, no doubt, flourishing, booming, yes. But again, those who think this is about just money-making machines and how to generate more income so that they can pocket in, need to invest and safeguard the integrity of sport, because sport is under siege and it's under attack. And that is why SIGA exists. SIGA does not exist to making grandiloquent proclamations and promises. SIGA exists to offer solutions. And we offer solutions, real, concrete, tangible, implementable. They are there. And if they're not implemented, it's either because we're not doing our job, and it might be the case, or because someone is afraid of them. Because sometimes those who proclaim integrity, transparency, accountability, they show nothing or little about it. And I could give you some examples that show that still we have not reached a state of maturity where those who sit in the leading chairs, be they of international, national federations, leagues and clubs, are afraid. And afraid of what? Are afraid of what, I ask? Yes, and what about the role of global business? Why are sponsoring injecting their money in organizations that they know little or nothing about? Because until they adopt the SIGA universal standards and go through our independent rating system, how can you tell the difference between the verb, the proclamation, the intention, the bragging, and the reality and the evidence and the proof that these organizations are fit for purpose? They are properly governed, they have integrity mechanisms in place, and they are transparent. So, what about you? What are you willing to do? I know that you have opinion. I know that when you sit on that sofa or in that seat in the stadium, you want to see a real sport. You want to see the triumph of sporting merit. You want to see the best team win. If it is yours, even better. But you want to see the sporting truths. And you deserve it. And that is why you need to be vocal. You need to be agents of change. You need to rise up and you need to make your voice heard. Because if you don't, it will not only be detrimental to yourselves, but to the wider industry. So this is my final word. It's a call for action. It's you who are putting your money. It's you who are injecting your trust, your confidence on sports organizations and those who lead. And I say it again, I challenge anyone to come forward and tell me that I'm wrong. Until I do that, between the journey and the destination, I will put my chips, my trust, my confidence in you. You are the fans. Without you, there is no sport. Show it. Thank you.
Thank you, Emanuel. Great speech as always.